By now, you're likely familiar with the Chabad Jewish Center of Bonita Springs and its rabbi, Mendy Greenberg, whose message of the need for education of hate crimes in Southwest Florida has been all over our area. This after the Lee County Sheriff's Office says it arrested 2 teens for vandalizing the rabbi's home and the deputies wanting to charge them with a hate crime. Now we're exploring why one of the foremost anti-Semitism organizations says acts like that one are on the rise.
It's obviously disturbing to see it happen in this community, especially because I love this community.
For Rabbi Mendy Greenberg, the last couple of weeks have been
disturbing.
Here are the images of his home Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino showed during a news conference of what he says 2 teens left behind at Greenberg's home.
We have seen it in the state of Florida and throughout the country, a significant rise in anti-Semitism.
To put the rabbi's experience into perspective, we turn to the Anti-Defamation League's interim director, Lonnie Wilk.
The last few years have seen the highest levels of anti-Semitic incidents since we began tracking in 1979.
To look at that, I looked at all the hate crimes the ADL tracks on their website. In 2015, the data showed 64 anti-Semitic incidents nationally, only 3 here in Florida. Now look at last year, almost 8 times more nationally, 18 times more here in Florida. The ADL's Wilkes says, like Nazi messaging during the Holocaust.
So for the Nazis, Jews were not even considered a human race. Jews were considered a subhuman race.
Today, online anti-Jewish propaganda campaigns are spreading alongside fears about world incidents and even COVID. Similar, he says, to World War II financial fears, many blamed on Jewish people.
We have seen that conspiracy theory of Jewish power and Jewish control emanate in different manifestations from the left, from the right.
There have been anti-Semitic events that have taken place here.
Jeffrey Feld is the Jewish Federation of Naples' president and CEO.
Have you questioned your own security?
Yes.
That emotion understood, Feld says, not by looking to the past, but at recent history.
They didn't think it was a real concern at Tree of Life congregation in Pittsburgh before it happened. They didn't think it was a big concern at Poway in California before it happened. They didn't think it was a big concern, although they did training in Colleyville, Texas.
Like in Texas, Feld says his group works with the Secure Community Network. They've also worked with the FBI and the Collier County Sheriff's Office. Today, here, you'll find shatterproof glass and a controlled entry, signs he calls necessary for the Federation to prepare, just in case.
We hope we never need to use it, but God forbid we should need to use it. We should be trained to be able to use it.
Overcoming the rise in Florida's anti-Semitism that now has our Southwest Florida's Jewish communities on higher edge, Feld and Rabbi Greenberg say must rely on learning from the past in order to move forward.
If we don't do things to educate people against hate, against anti-Semitism, then it's going to proliferate even more.
Whenever a negative thing happens, there's an educational moment for all of us.
As threats against Jewish community members are on the rise, the CEO of the Jewish Federation tells me they're planning increased safety measures at their new location. And he tells me right now they are practicing active shooter training. And here at the Chabad in Bonita Springs, the rabbi inviting members of the community here for what he calls part of his healing, turning a negative into a positive through increased education. For this Fox 4 investigation, I'm Shari Armstrong, Fox 4.